You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it! In front of the Kop!
Hello and welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. What a video this is, by the way. What an honour it is to first of all be in New York City, but second of all, be at Carraghers bar in John Street, New York City. Wow, what a pleasure. I'm here with the main man, the co-founder of the New York Kopites, and the guy when it comes to Carraghers and Carraghers bar in New York City, Mikey Romero. What a pleasure, bro. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. It's a pleasure for you joining us here. Thank you very much, man. You've come a long way.
I have come a long way, but listen, I feel like I'm at home. I can't lie to you, Mike. Coming in here, we've got Jurgen's back home. It's like the Mecca where we go. Jurgen Klopp's been there. But I've heard about Carraghers. Being a Liverpool fan throughout the decades, I mean, you just saw a picture of me when I was like 4 as a Liverpool fan in Liverpool, but I've heard of Carraghers for a long time, and to actually be here and look around and see all the memorabilia, all the pictures, the images, the stuff that you just wouldn't find anywhere else. It is one, like a museum in here, but two, like tell us about your involvement, how Carraghers came around and what you guys are doing today, because it's crazy in here. And any Liverpool fan in the world, if you're in New York City, you have to come and check Mikey out.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Well, I guess the story starts in 2008 with the inception of the New York Kopites. It's we're basically an independent Liverpool supporters club, and I myself being the co-founder, Dwayne being the other half. We were introduced. I was introduced to Dwayne being a Liverpool fan, albeit being an American Liverpool fan, so not necessarily knowing what it means until I met Dwayne, who's definitely a proper Scouser, and by way of family, his uncle Howard Gale. We were able to build a really strong relationship with not only the club but also former players, including Jamie Carragher. So, as the story goes, we were, basically operating out of different footy pubs. We were introduced to Brian McLaughlin, who's the main gaffer here at Carraghers, and he, being a Liverpool fan, loved our efforts on social media and being able to bring fans together. And he's like, "Look, I have this spot here. I want to make it into a Liverpool supporters clubhouse," and so we did. And basically that it just grew. It grew. Not only did we grow out of its shell, but we were able to have former players over like Jamie Carragher. And when we had Jamie over, we just basically pitched them the idea of having a namesake bar here in New York. And
he's got a good Irish name.
He's got a great Irish name, and it just made sense. And so, as the story goes, Carraghers became a thing, and it's just it's grown to the point that we're looking to possibly buy more or get more space to just grow, because it's one of them, as they say, that we wish we could have hold everybody, but unfortunately not everybody fits. But we are very blessed to have an establishment that is all inclusive, especially with respect to families, because we feel that that's very important. Not a lot of bars allow under 21s, and we're one of the few establishments that do so. And in an electric environment. So if you can imagine, you're showing me a picture there of you were like 6 or 7. Can you imagine, being in New York and being so far away from the club, but coming to Carraghers and experiencing a match day that is just electric and, an environment unlike any other. That really rivals, a lot of places back home, back in Liverpool, at least from some of the feedback that I've gotten from fans that visit us, and an experience like that resonates with any kid. So to be able to provide a home for Liverpool fans is very, very proud to be part of this organization.
Yeah, from what I've seen and what I know, unless you're at Anfield, this is the best place to watch it apart from that in the world. And I'm not just saying that because you're here. From what I've seen and and we're going to be here tomorrow as well for the Man United versus Liverpool Legends, which is unbelievable occasion that you've got here for us tomorrow. But talking about when Carragher's been here, he's seen the reaction. I mean, there's a picture of you and him right there with our good friend Rob. He must be over the moon to have a place that really, I mean, again, there's pictures of him everywhere. He must be over the moon to have a place that represents him. You've got pictures, the working class hero made in boot or Liverpool. The memorabilia here is just screaming at you when you walk in, especially if you're a Red as well and you understand it all.
Yeah, I think what makes it even more special is that it's truly genuine. A lot of the pieces are fan pieces. They're not commissioned pieces. They're true passionate pieces that people make, that whether they're diehard Jamie fans or diehard Liverpool fans or both, and every piece of memorabilia, every unique trinket has its own story. So to be able to proudly put it on display is not only a representation of the gracious donations, but also to be able to spread the love and to be able to share those stories and those memories is special. So again, it's a true beacon for not only fans of Liverpool, but the people from Liverpool. It is definitely a Scouse beacon, if you will.
100%. We've got one of the trinkets that you talk about here. I'll just grab it. So just talk us through what this is, who signed it. This is the kind of stuff you can see at Carraghers bar.
Yeah, this is a very unique piece. This is a seat from the old main stand, and not too long ago we had Kenny Dalglish, the King visit us. It was kind of like unannounced, but again, this is why Carraghers is such a special place. We have legends that will be here either on holiday or on other business and just have to call in. So, we were blessed with his presence, and I had to happen to have this unique piece of memorabilia that one of our fans donated, and I thought to myself, who better than to sign this seat, because I'm sure that whoever sat in this seat has seen him score many goals.
I mean, this seat, the amount of people that would have sat on it, the history that's been viewed from that seat, you can't, and there isn't a price on that stuff.
There really isn't. And again, just the memory of him, walking in here and touching the memorabilia and just and his reaction was very genuine with respect to how touched he was to see how special the club is. To have a place so far away from Liverpool that is, how do I say this without sounding, that is standing, that is sustainable, that is just a Liverpool bar. Because again, it's a very unique thing in America that you find any establishment dedicated to just one club.
Because I doubt you get many Everton fans in here, Mike. I can't imagine many Blue Noses get down to Carraghers in New York.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you say that, because obviously you have a lot of Scousers on holiday. You have a lot of you also have a lot of expats, and as you know, in America, families. And in Ireland as well, families support different clubs, and albeit there aren't many Everton fans in Ireland, from what I understand, but we do get Blue Noses calling in here, and they have a bitter face when they initially walk in, but after a few bevies, they have a smile on their face, and then it's just friendly banter is what it is. So, we just we take it as it is, and we take the piss a little bit, but ultimately it's good fun.
Well, listen, if Everton fans come in here, it's the closest they'll ever get to one of these bad boys. Man United fans as well, they haven't seen this for a while.
They haven't seen it for a while, but again, that's another fan base that you have an incredible dynamic with Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville. That some may argue diluted the rivalry a little bit, maybe. And I've seen that firsthand because I do see United fans call in and sometimes alone, just curious, and again, initially maybe just, coming for some banter, but they stay for a few and they enjoy themselves. So
yeah, well, it's always nice to see them pay respects to the greatest team in England, isn't it? As they stop by in New York City. Listen, let's talk about the team in the present day.
Sure.
It hasn't, Mike. I mean, you watch all the games here. At God knows what hour you open up here for the early kickoffs. I mean, you must have some real long shifts, but you've watched all the games, so you're well in the know. What do you make of Liverpool's start this season? I mean, in the Premier League, obviously it hasn't gone the way we thought it would have. Mm-hmm. And in the Champions League, it's been semi-mixed as well. How do you see it so far this season?
Well, so far this season, obviously, it's gotten off to a slow start. Needless to say, I'm not going to say that we missed this, we missed that. We all know what changes we've made this summer. I think the biggest hole right now has to be in midfield, and we all know that. On paper, we're amazing, but unfortunately, we can't stay healthy. I think the key to this October is staying healthy. Really, seeing Thiago on the pitch playing at least 70 minutes, I think is going to be very important. And honestly, I think that for Fabinho as well. I think that we need a solid midfield in order to play our game, and our game is having the likes of Robertson and Trent bombing forward, giving crosses, and just being that dynamic offensive force that we're used to seeing. But unfortunately, that hold in the midfield right now is not allowing us really to play the game that we want to play. So. It all really depends on the midfield. In my perspective, you have a situation where, some can argue that Diaz and Salah's definitely not clicking. I mean, Salah's been off to an incredibly slow start, and I hope that that his new paycheck that has nothing to do with that. I hope that he still has the same hunger and the same hustle, but that is, the challenge on the surface is the fact that you have a team there. Over 70% of that team has already won everything there is to win in club football. And nobody wants to say that there's no hunger there, but it's really, you can't coach hunger. You know what I mean? And it's not it's not a quantifiable variable like that. And it's tough to see us playing the way we're playing because it's quite frankly malaise. We know that we can play better than that. And I'm not saying that that's what it is, but it is something that you have to question, as a human being, really. You know what I mean? It is the thrill gone? Is the challenge still there for some of these players? And it's up to our coaching staff to really to make that to make that happen and to create that sense of urgency that we need.
You mentioned the coaching staff there. I was reading Pep Linder's book recently, Intensity.
Right.
It's a great read, and there was a bit in there that really caught my eye, and it said, because what it's been like, right? Other rival fans are going to say, and Liverpool fans as well, have said, why is he releasing all the secrets about Liverpool and our methods and how we go about business?
Yeah.
But then he says in his book, to cover himself, if you think that I'm giving away all the secrets, you're wrong, because we're ever evolving, ever changing, and no one can predict what we're going to do in the future. And there's slight tweaks that they've made over the last few years that you can see as maybe changed the diversion of the formation or the tactics that go into preparing for a game. But he did say that one of the things they're trying to do is reinvent the formation, have Salah out wide more. Do you think that we can still do something good enough this season to call it a big success? Or do you think we still need to go through that reinvention period, as Klopp keeps mentioning, and Linders?
Yeah, that's a good question. You have Didi Hamann, I think, recently made mention to that. I guess his concern about Pep's book and letting all the secrets out. But again, I think I have to circle back to the players, they're a much higher variable in this equation here.
Yeah.
You have the coaching staff that, I'm not going to say play a minimal part, but if you look at the season and you look at the microcosm of the game, for example, and last season, and these amazing changes that we would make, because we would in some games we would have a very slow start, but we would make the necessary changes at halftime, right, to change the outcome of the game. So last season especially resonates with me as a tale of two halves with almost every game, right, with exception to the Champions League final, unfortunately. But with that,
Still getting over that one.
it's a tough one.
We should be.
Yeah, we should be. But to answer your question, I don't think that all the secrets are out. I think that it is ever evolving as far as not only from game to game, but also personnel wise. Our players are constantly changing. So to say that we have to fall back and revert to reinventing ourselves or having a build is, to me, is BS. I think that we're definitely better than that, and I don't think that the cat is out of the bag necessarily. I think it's just more of an issue of a slow start and maybe questioning some of the players' desires. I think that we fell in love with Klopp in the beginning of his tenure when he made these tough decisions that really opened the eyes of Liverpool fans, saying, okay, this is the gaffer. Early on in his career, like benching Sacco, who at that time was arguably our best defender, because he would come late to practice or whatever the case may be, and some can argue that maybe we haven't seen that accountability recently with some of the players that maybe we should see. So that is something that I would like to see as far as like changes are concerned, but I think that we have enough in the bag to contend for a title and win one or more trophy this season. Absolutely.
Okay, so for me, a success is defined by obviously where you finish in the table, but obviously what trophies and silverware you bring home as well. Looking at what we did last season, knowing how close we were to all four, the quadruple, which had never been done before, what can count as a success this year? What do you think happens where we go, there we go, that's still a success considering the slow start we had to the season?
That's a great question. I would say that definitely finishing in the top four. I think that, I'm not saying that winning the league is out of the picture, but I think that right now, contending for titles, winning some silverware, I would be happy with one trophy. I would be happy with a top four finish, and being in the final of the Champions League again. Honestly, I think that would be a success for me, considering what I've seen so far of this year. Asking me that question in the beginning of the year, I would have had a different answer for you. But seeing the challenges that we're facing now as a team, and not knowing what we're going to do to remedy that in January, because we are known for making some serious purchases in January. I would be happy with a top four finish. I would be happy with a trophy and a ticket to the Champions League final.
And let's win it this time as well.
Yes.
Mike, thank you so much for having me, brother. It's a real pleasure to spend some time with you.
Absolutely.
If you are ever in New York City, it's my co-sign right here, right now. You have to come to Carraghers. The food's great, drink's great, the vibes are great, and we're going to be here for the Legends of the North game tomorrow, so very much looking forward to that. Remember to like the video, comment as well, and subscribe to the Kop TV if you haven't already. Go and follow Carraghers NYC on Instagram as well and YouTube. They're doing big stuff. But Mike, what a pleasure, bro. Thank you again.
Thank you, man.
Take care.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stands, for a lot more Liverpool content.
Remember to check out our Shopify store for this beauty and much more. It's the new Luchito's Way Diaz t-shirt based on Luis Diaz and Carlito's Way. It's out now, designed by Ruby.
And there's going to be so many more.
There is. Make sure you're involved. Go and buy this now and use the Kop TV 15 for a little discount if you want.